know, it was Batman the Animated Series and Batman and Robin. Suddenly I'm 80-year-old Bruce, and I'm kind of like, you know, well, what happened to my show? It's this kid's show now. You know? So you're kind of passing the torch on a little bit, you know what I mean? But no, I loved working with Will. It's the easiest thing in the world, and with Mark. Whenever we get together, it's kind of like kids in a playground. There's just such an ease to it. So I don't know what more I can tell you than that. Just that we all really work well together.
Over here. Do you want to stand up?
Okay. Is it working?
I can hear you.
Pat, we got the... Yeah, go ahead.
Well, what do you think? Are you ever annoyed with the Batman rip-offs, like, you know, Green Arrow and all those, which are basically just Batman under the slab?
No one's ever going to replace Batman. You know, I mean, come on. He's so cool. I don't know. I don't really have any opinion about the other superheroes.
I don't think Batman would either. I don't think Batman would either.
No, he's too cool. He's too confident. He's too complicated. Anyone else?
We will get you guys down.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, big fan.
Thank you.
I really love
Thank you.
Anyway, here's my question. What is your favorite episode from the animated series? Not in terms of writing or story, but in terms of your performance. The one that you give out your best, you know?
Well, I think my one... there are two. One is Mask of the Phantasm, which I think is the best Batman movie. But that scene at his parents' grave is one of my favorite scenes. He's, for those of you who haven't seen it, he's fallen in love. And you see the whole genesis of the Batman story. You understand the whole background in this movie, which is why I think it's such a great movie. And then he falls in love. And he goes to his parents' grave and he's pleading with them to release him from the vow that he made to them to avenge their deaths. Because he suddenly realizes what life is about, and it's about love. And he realizes he can love. He wants to have a normal life. But just then, he realizes he can't. And then this flock of bats comes screaming up out of the earth to like reclaim him. And he realizes he can't escape his past. There's something so noble about the character of Batman, and that's why I think the audience relates to him so much, and why he's lasted for 75 years, whatever it is. There's such a pure nobility about him and his mission, and that's what the audience relates to. People love seeing that kind of purity and that kind of nobility in him. So that scene where he suddenly is questioning that journey, it's such a human moment. It's such a vulnerable moment. Acting is all about exposing your heart to the audience. It's all about making yourself as vulnerable as you can. The actors you really love are the ones that you see inside of, the ones who share a part of themselves with you. So any episode, any script where I get to do that are my favorites. And that was one moment. Perchance to Dream is a moment where he's dreaming, he's drugged, and he goes back and he experiences childhood with his father. I just get to expose parts of Bruce Wayne in that for an actor, that's what it's all about. It's all about honesty. That's why there are certain actors you just gravitate towards. You just love them. You don't know why you love them. It's because they're so honest. They let you in, and you get to know them. And the better you are, the more you do that. I have people who just come up to me on the street and they say, you know, can I just hug you? Because you're like an old friend. You were there when I was a kid. And I'm always hugging strangers on the street. Because they feel like they know me. Which is, to me, it means that my work as an actor was successful. You know, I let them in.
That's what I was saying earlier on. You are Batman to a generation, and even to the later generations, like you always will be the Batman. Kieran, we have a question over here. Who? Yeah, and then we're going to go over to Darren. Is there anyone over the back? Okay, we got the microphone here as well. Okay, so we're going to go here, then to Liam, and then we're going to go here, and then we're going to go over here. Okay?
Hello.
Stand up there. Stand up there.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You've come to work with many people over the years, like Mark Hamill and Troy Baker and all that, right?
Yeah.
And I wonder, how is it like when you meet people who you haven't really worked with since the animated series? I mean, the new movie with Batman and Harley Quinn, you're working with the person who originally played Robin, then went on to Nightwing from the animated series.
Lauren Lester, yeah.
I wonder how that feels when you meet people from the old series.
Well, it's like seeing an old friend. You pick up, you know, when you run into someone you haven't seen in years and you just pick up the sentence you left off on. That's what a lot of it's like with actors, like with Lauren Lester and with Mark Hamill, with Tara Strong, with various people that I've worked with a lot over the years. It's just like picking up a sentence. You just fit right into where you work, which is great. The challenge more is when you meet new people, and you're going to establish dynamics with new actors. There's always a little bit of a territorial thing that happens with actors, and you always kind of feel out. You're always kind of feeling out, like when you meet someone new at work, you feel out how generous they are, how easy they'll be to work with. The nice thing about Warner Brothers is I know with Andrea, she always, as I said, casts really generous people, so I generally know it's going to be cool. Like Melissa Rauch was great, easy to work with. Paget Brewster, who does Poison Ivy in this, great, wonderful to work with. I'd never worked with either of them before. Those are brand new for me. I'd worked with those characters for 25 years, but those were totally new actors for me. So it does shake up every now and then with new people coming in. There's always a few minutes of sort of feeling out the territory whenever you meet anyone new, like in life. But I've been lucky with Warner Brothers. It's been a great group.
And Andrea, I'm sure she'll be sorely missed, but she is renowned for being the voice.
The wonderful thing about Andrea is she started out as an actor. A lot of people don't realize that. And she studied acting in school. And she realized right away that was not going to happen for her. And rather than beat her head against a wall for the rest of her life, she segued into, became an agent originally. And that led to casting, becoming a casting agent. And when you're in animation, the director, quote unquote, in an animated show isn't really the director. They're the casting person. They put the cast together and they sit in the booth with the producers and they direct the actors through the script. So director is kind of a loose term in animation. But because she came at it through acting, she has a great understanding of how actors think, what they need, the kind of information they need to get them into the right line reading. You never give a line reading to an actor because it'll always sound like what you told them to say rather than sounding organic. You want to lead them to it through thought so they come up with their own way of saying it, so it sounds spontaneous, so it sounds original. And they will usually surprise you and say it in a way you didn't think of, that may be even better. So she's good at not giving you line readings, but at giving you motivation to get to the right place. And she also understands how actors' lives are very transitional. You never know when you're going to work again. You'll have a great year, and then you'll have a lousy year, and then you'll have a great year again, and then you'll be out of favor for a number of years, and then suddenly you're hot again. So she knows how ephemeral it all is. And that makes for a lot of very unstable people, you know? And so she's very good at handling these people. Me.
Liam, do you want to stand up?
Kevin Conroy.
Hey.
Kate Míle Fáilte Gurv Mogul. The
Míle
Batman. Have yourself and Mark Hamill ever walked into a bar, put a pair of pints in front of you, and had a full-blown conversation as the Batman and the Joker? Because if that hasn't happened, Kevin, it needs to happen.
So, Batman and the Joker walked into a bar.
Anyway, that's the easy breezy one. Over the course of you portraying this iconic character, was there one moment that you just stopped and went, holy moly, I'm Batman?